It's not like a piece. It's Coach Nyla
right here. It's not like it, guys.
It's not like a piece. It's Coach Fatimah. That's how the confusion happens.
I thought I was going to say it's Fatimah. I'm easily confused. And she confused.
Right.
So, guys, welcome to your Sunday live Q&A with your favorite coaches and co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. So yes, if you guys have any questions, we're actually going to take some of the questions that we've gotten from our email. You guys want some of your questions answered on the live, send us those questions, support@outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. You have some questions you want answered on this live right now? Inshallah, God willing,
Here it is.
So yeah, put it in the comments with question marks so we know that it's a question and not just a comment. And and again, also let us know where you guys are watching us from and all that other good stuff, because we totally enjoy coming to you guys and giving you guys some really good information and knowing where you guys are watching us from. That's like so cool.
Yeah, you guys have been asking us some really good questions too. Really, really, really good questions. So send them on in, send them on over.
We're going to give you guys a couple more seconds to share. And if you guys are on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed and make sure you click that notification bell so you do not miss when we're going live. So, when we are posting new videos, we post new videos every Monday and Thursdays. So in order for you to get that information before everybody else does, or when we first do it, or when it's posted, make sure you click that bell and click the subscribe button.
Yep.
Tell them the question marks and things, and share this to different groups. Let's have conversation.
Hey guys, we got some new people that are joining us and all that other good stuff. So we are going to, of course, Sunday live Q&A with the coaches, Coach Nyla,
Coach Fatimah,
and Coach Nazir. And you guys have some questions, make sure that you put them in the chat or in the comments with question marks, please, so we'll be able to get to them and know that there are questions and not just comments. And and if you guys want to ask us some questions, and don't worry, you want them to be anonymous, let us know that you want to be anonymous. That's fine.
right.
And you can send them to support@outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. You know, it's easier to just put them in the chat right now. We're talking about when we're not live, okay?
Fear versus, it's not going to say, we're not going to be here a long time, so preferably be maybe 15, 20 minutes. Let's go.
Oh. Okay, this came from our email, our supported email. It says, the sister says her husband got married to his second wife 16 months after the wedding without her knowing, and it's been 8 years since. She's never set her eyes on a woman or talked to her. So she used to hate her, but not anymore. So if she hates me too, she doesn't know. Husband is afraid of putting us together, and we don't allow our children to know each other. So she is looking for advice. So please advise me on what to do, because she wants their husband to be happy, and she wants to end all the hatred for the sake of the children and for Allah's sake and just the sake of happy life.
I'm just going to speak very honestly and bluntly. I don't believe in children not knowing their siblings, because I see the resentment that fills the hearts of the children that are older. They get very angry, and they're typically upset with the father or the husband, their dad, because they feel like their father should take the leadership role. They want them to they want to see their siblings. You know, I have yet to come across, coach, or know a family that has children in it of the same father, even if it's bonus children, and those kids not become very upset and hurt that they don't know their siblings. It's their right to know their siblings. I found that with people that are close to our family, where there are multiple wives, up to 3 in this situation, and they haven't seen their siblings in years and years. So the batch of children that are older are very upset because the younger children don't know them anymore. The younger children are upset and hurt, and they don't know why they don't know each other. That's the part. The older ones might have figured it out, but it's very hurtful for children that are siblings not to know and see and be able to love one another because the adults are having a difficulty communicating. It's something that's very heartbreaking for me because I can't imagine my children not knowing each other at all.
And, yeah, I think, some advice on what to do. You guys are tired of it. I totally understand. I think after a while it gets old. And when that's the case, the first things first is communicate about it. Let your husband know, hey, this has been this gone on long enough. I know how I felt at first. See, that's the thing too. When we are able to admit our issues or our problems or anything like that and realize that we are human beings, so we have emotions, we have these different things that could have caused some issues in the past, but we want to move forward, allow those issues or allow yourself to say, you know what, I was wrong. This is how I felt. This is what I did, but I want to get better. I want us to get better. So how can we do that? First and foremost, have that communication, have that conversation where you say, okay, the kids have to know each other. We got to get over this. We want to win, instead of whine and complain and not have this great life. So first and foremost, have that conversation and build on a plan to start communicating. First things first, take that first step.
I had a couple, add something to that as well. One is to accept responsibility and apologize for whatever did occur. Because obviously there's some drama, some bad blood. If your husband feels that he cannot control a situation or doesn't know the outcome because somebody may get emotional or act stupid, then of course he's going to have some hesitation. So we don't know what's happened over the last 8 years, but obviously whatever happened over the 8 years has been going on for quite some time. And it seems like the person asking the question is the one who had the biggest issue. It never met her 16 months after they got married and so on, but something had to happen. But to accept responsibility for whatever it is, whether it's your fault or not your fault, so that you can get past that piece and move forward. All right, versus having and dragging a lot of baggage and all that stuff with it, because ultimately, again, the kids are going to raise up and see what the problem is, and they're going to form their own opinions. All right, you don't want to be the one they're looking at like, oh, you were the one acting stupid, or this one, da-da-da. So now I see you don't want any of that for any of the parents, period. You know what I'm saying? So minimally, we have to get over our own egos. One of the ways to do that is to accept responsibility for something, apologize for it, and move on and be an adult. That's what it comes to. Because a lot of times, for some reason or another, adults, especially in polygyny, there's a lot of adults acting like toddlers. They have very similar behavior. I should say that. But and if you've heard of different horror stories or challenges, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're not going to belabor the point. So first of all, we say all the salam. So we say alaikum salam, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone. Peace and welcome. It's people in Iobo, Rukaya Ahmed from the UK, representing Tisha out in New Jersey. Sherry White says hello to you, beautiful family. So alhamdulillah, appreciate that. So Sherry has a question. She says, well, what is the best advice for the first wife that is getting ready to bring in our second wife? Basically, I should prep for that.
I think the best thing you can do is put if you have good, healthy intentions, you have to state those to yourself. If you want it to work, say, I want this to work, and here's how I'm going to do my part at making it work. and become really educated on polygyny as best as you can. You know, don't fear the different books and the different articles and the different, you know, families that practice polygyny. And be willing to listen to someone else's experience on how it has went for them, or because you could be assuming a lot and not really know what's going on. But also, nobody really owes you their story. But if they want to share it, be open to listening for it, and allow people to make mistakes along the way, because I think oftentimes initial wives, it can even be a subsequent wife, because there still could be 3 or 4 wives. So sometimes they go, well, that's the subsequent wives. They deal with that mess. I don't deal with it. No, if you're a subsequent wife and your husband's getting a 3rd wife or a 4th one, you're going to deal with some of the same intersecting topics. So I would say let your husband, allow him to make some mistakes, and allow yourself to hear more than just your side of what's going on. Because sometimes when we do that, it shows the human quality of the husband and of the subsequent wives, instead of just going, well, she's just his wife and that's all she is and that's all she's ever going to be. That's not fair, you know, because we don't come in the world married. You know, we're other people before we get married. So I think keeping that human quality and trying to connect and have a positive intention on your marriage and on your marriage, and don't get too much into theirs outside of what is going to affect you. Anything else is not your business. And that's important to say, because I've seen some co-wives kind of pry and try to get answers from the other. But education, communicating, and allowing others to communicate to you as well is a big thing. And don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. If I could go back, that's something that I would kick to the curb. You know, that's a good start point, I think. So,
Anything on that?
One of my things is the mindset. When you say you're bringing a person into your marriage, it seems as though that the person is coming into your marriage. So sometimes we have to shed the mentality or the mindset that this other person is coming into our marriage. Our marriages are different. In polygyny, the marriages are different. The wives are monogamously married to the husband, and the husband is monogamously married to the wives. He's just married to multiple at one time. So when it comes down to it, that mindset of that, well, I'm accepting her into our marriage, or I'm we're bringing her in, it causes that the conflict where it's that hierarchy type of mentality and mindset, which can cause some issues and some drama, if not initially, later on down the road. So first and foremost, of course, we always talk about mind your marriage, but also look at it that your marriage is your marriage, their marriage is their marriage. And the only way that it intertwines is if you guys allow it. And in polygyny, it doesn't work out that way.
All right, a couple things. In about an hour, these 2 ladies are going to be training. They'll be training as part of the Rise Summit, because I recognize somebody was tuning in from Nigeria and reminded me that an hour for the Rise 3.0 Summit, what was that? Tuning in from Nigeria right now. We got this from Manchester, the UK. King out there representing South Central LA. So appreciate all of you tuning in. But in about an hour, they're also going to be doing the training. It's going to last about 60 minutes or so. But that's going to be streamed only on. We probably can stream on different. Yeah, in an hour, we're going to be done with this in a few minutes. They have to take a break, everything else. Matter of fact, we just wrapped up our Coach Fatimah wrapped up today's RMIC, Relationship Mastery Inner Circle. I did my training last week. She did hers every weekend, well, at least 4 weeks out of the month, depending on how many weekends there are. We have our Relationship Mastery Inner Circle, where we go deeper. You get to download your audio, your workbooks. You get to communicate with us directly and so on as part of that program. So details on that, though, or outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/RM for relationship mastery. And before we go to the next question, one question we've been getting is we're doing a polygyny masterclass this weekend. All right, 2 hours on the 19th, inshallah, God willing. So that's 6 days from now. But it's not going to be on YouTube and IG and Facebook like you've seen right now. It's going to be streaming from our personal, private members area. Okay, we're going to go deep in some stuff, and we don't need any type of distractions. So if you want to register, it's free. If you want to register that for it, outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/TPM for the polygyny masterclass. We can talk about polygyny dynamics 101. Okay, so register for that. You'll get the email, you get the special links and everything sent out to you before this weekend, and hopefully you can join us and know there will be no replays. So, you got to be there live, yo. Anyway, she needs to let you know that real quick. And also check another question here. Yep, she sees it that way as well. So let's go back and forth. I'm going back and forth YouTube and Facebook. So a sister asked, do y'all feel, we know what y'all is, do y'all feel polygyny hurts most women's feelings? Since only limited women are strong as y'all, wouldn't that mean less wives for the man who wants polygyny? What say y'all?
This is chapter 10 of our journey. So we didn't start out like this at all. I don't want to give you I just wasn't like that. I wouldn't set up like this at all. So growth is something that I'm very grateful for. But yeah, we all wanted it to work and be beneficial for our family, especially our children. To see the benefit in that. And I've seen it with all three of us. So it wasn't Coach Nazir had an agenda, Coach Nyla had one, and I had an agenda. It just, we all, I think, are very loving people, and we want what's healthy for our family. But it'll hurt your feelings, but it doesn't mean that we've sat in our hurt. It's like we kind of made a decision to go, okay, this hurt, but this is doable. It didn't just hurt wives, it hurt all of us. But we learned so much, and I'm so glad that I can see it now because I didn't see it before. That's what I'm saying. I was not strong in this always, but making the attention to want it to work and communicate and ask the scary questions and know that I could do it and we could do it as a family. Was so important to growth. It's really beautiful looking back on it. Y'all would say y'all.
You want to think so?
I mean, not too much different. Besides that, there's so many things in life that can hurt our feelings. I mean, you could be monogamously married and your husband has to take a job somewhere, that is going to spend less time with you. It's a number of things that we can have in our lives that can hurt our feelings. And the thing is it that big, does it hurt that much? Do you allow it that much power to stop you from getting something or receiving something that's beneficial in the long run?
Indeed, I'm going to ride off both of what they're saying. Because as a man, she asked the question, does that mean there's less women for the man who wants polygyny? No, it doesn't. Polygyny is a form of marriage. Okay, so we have to weigh some things, and a lot of times we don't look at it from this rational, logical perspective. But when we talk about hurt feelings, and you have a scale, so you have hurt feelings over here, and then you have potential solution over here. We have to figure out what's actually more important. Is it my hurt feelings, or is there something that'll happen? A lot of the most wise, regulated and restricted for the benefit of his creation. That's at least how I look at it. So let's talk about hurt feelings. I talked about a toddler earlier, right? Sometimes children, I remember myself, want to wake up in the morning and, oh, we had some cake from last night. I want that yellow cake with chocolate frosting for breakfast. You think my mother let me have it? Guess whose feelings were hurt? Mine. You know what I'm saying? Oh, eating vegetables? I didn't want vegetables. Give me some more of that meat. Guess whose feelings was hurt? Mine. Guess who didn't want to go to school early in the morning, get up in the cold, get outside to get there? Mine. But I had to wait. Benefits. That doesn't stop when we become adults. Actually, it's more important. So when we're talking about polygyny, again, I did a video last week about, in a blog, about, is it an ancient solution to a modern day problem? So look at our feelings over here, right? I'm hurt. This is normal stuff, not dismissing it. It's real. But then you have a solution. Okay, so one, you have infant mortality rate of boys is more than girls, so there's more women. Then you have the whole killing, dying, war type stuff going on, so there's less men. Then you have the whole homosexual thing, the men that don't even like women, that want to be women. Okay, got that issue going on. You're a black man in particular, you're suffering from the effects of mass incarceration right now. All right, looking at us in the West and our society. So there's less men for women to choose from, one, and then you got to get to the point of somebody that's even worth it. Because every 18 seconds, a woman goes to the ER, getting abused and getting beat up by some man. Right? So after you sort and filter through all that, do you think there's actually less women for polygyny or more? Think about that. Think about the feelings that women have to cope and deal with just in general. You know, okay, so I can't marry this person because this society shuns it, looks at it crazy, even though it's an honorable thing, but I still want intimacy and love and somebody to be there, help me raise children and all of this stuff. They want those things, so they do it other ways with other means. Okay, so yeah, you got the mistresses to jump down, whatever. You got somebody looking for a sugar daddy. You got these type of things that are still going on in society, and that's just looked at as normal because that's just normalized. Whereas polygyny requires the man to be more. There's a requirement there. So it's easy to go a different way. So now I got to go back to my whole initial assessment. Do I just look at me and say, oh, my feelings? That's what's superior to everything else. The benefit of society? No, see, Islam doesn't look at it like that. Islam looks at the bigger picture. What is the most benefit to society? So no, yeah, you're looking at our chapter 10 right now. You know, it's 10 years of polygyny. So the first part, the roller coaster ride, all of that stuff, that's real. That's human. Those are her feelings, those emotions. That stuff is real. But if you're working on it, as Coach Fatimah talked about, growth, as Coach Nyla talked about, being intentional with it, we're all constantly developing and growing. Okay? So it's extremely important that we recognize we can't be children and put what we want and all this, what we think is best first. Because now we're questioning the one who created us. And just because we want something or feel we want something, that doesn't make it the best. Have you ever been in a failed relationship before? You ever seen bad ones, people just stuck in there and for no apparent reason other than just cause? You know, so there's a lot of wisdom behind it, even if we don't see it right away. All right, so hopefully that helped. I know it went a little bit longer, but it's very important because if it's, oh, you hurt their feelings. My feelings get hurt all the time. If you go in somewhere, fill out a job application, right? And you get denied, your feelings get hurt. So you not fill out any other job applications? You may start a business and when 8 out of 10 of them are gonna fail anyway within the first 3 years. I get my feelings hurt when I go outside and that cold 20-degree wind hits me and it's like, yo, in 20-degree Fahrenheit, like it's negative Celsius. Okay, so yeah, I get my feelings hurt, like, I can't stand this. The sun go down at 4:30 in the afternoon right now. There's something called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It's real, I don't like it. My feelings hurt. But I ain't the one that made up the rules. So anyway, hopefully that helps.
Trinidad in the house.
Shalom, Trinidad, listening in. Shalom, salam, peace. All right, hopefully that, you know, perfect. You got some good stuff there. What advice do you have for a man whose wife is very against them marrying another? Okay, whose wife is very against them marrying another wife. Okay, that's what you mean. All right. What advice do I have for that? You asking, what do y'all say? What advice do you have for somebody whose wife doesn't want to marry another wife?
You have to have a hard conversation and be very honest about what your intentions are. You know, sometimes initial wives or subsequent wives, in some cases, when they hear that you want another wife, all they hear, you know, the ears are here, that's the wife he wants, which translates into they don't want me anymore. You know, they trying to replace me. So saying things like, I'm not trying to replace you. I think one of the most powerful things Coach Nyla said to our daughter, her bonus baby, was, I'm not trying to be your mom. Like, that's something that my 20-some-year-old daughter needed to hear because that's what she thought. So to this day, she's like, I'm so glad. I said, well, I could have told you that. If you had to talk to me, I would have told you that wasn't the plan from the jump. But, that's what she heard. And then I got another daughter saying, well, I thought that meant you guys were getting divorced. I'm like, see, so she might not like it, but I have to think about putting myself in others' shoes. If you're, especially with Muslim men, if I was a Muslim man, I'd want to explore all the different areas of Islam. And if you want to do that, then that's what you need to say, because we like honesty. See, I can deal with you if you're trying, but if you're not trying, people can't do anything with you if you're not trying, and you're not trying with yourself and being honest with yourself. If that's something you want to do, that really, she can't stop you from practicing polygyny. She might not like it. I didn't like it. But could I stop it? No, because what's for you is going to happen for you. What isn't is not. That's period. You can try to prevent or try to stop or think you manipulate things or whatever. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But honestly, having a really hard conversation and communicating and stating what it is, that you're not going anywhere, that you're not leaving her. Sometimes that helps a great deal. It helps more than you know. Women like security. And sometimes when we hear the word polygyny, we get scared, because then it's like, okay, that's something, I'm getting something that's going to be, somebody's trying to take something from me, whether it's the subsequent wife or the husband. They hear take. Some women hear take. And when you find out nobody's trying to take anything from you, it helps. So just be honest. You can't really stop it.
Keep this short.
Okay. Yeah. We got that thing, y'all. We got that thing.
One, had a conversation with Coach Fatimah said. Two is you got to weigh some things out. One, are you growing? Are you becoming more? Are you more than twice the man, as my wives tend to say sometimes? Are you the right man for the child? All right, you have to really look at and have some introspection and be honest with yourself first. Looking at the measurables, the time and the money, and the immeasurables, the emotional and all the other things that go along with polygyny. All right, and if you're a good dude, you got to weigh that. The second thing you have to really weigh is resentment. If you're willing to, if you're willing to go that route, she decides to like women throw out, I don't leave you, take kids and do all this kind of stuff. It's really something else. I'll leave it with that. It's really something else to say and to threaten with that. It says a lot about the person. But you got to weigh that, whether or not, because that could actually happen. It has happened in some circumstances. All right, people think there's some, it's better, there's other fish in the sea, it's this and this and that, and hit the reality, recognize and let their feelings overcome them, and now they've destroyed something, or you've allowed it if you decide to pursue, and that's the issue. But you have to determine whether or not it's manipulation, or if you're willing to live with resentment, or if you're willing to just say, okay, cool, I'm good, I'm straight. So you have to evaluate those things. That takes some serious introspection, some honesty, and difficult conversation. All right, because if that person doesn't, that's fine, it is what it is, but you have to make a decision, you're the man. And whether or not you want to live another 10, 15, 20, however many years you may have left, if any years left, that's up to Allah on how you want to live and experience and deal with life. We're all individuals. You know what I'm saying? So that part is important. Weigh that. And that's that. We got probably take another question or something and then wrap, because like you have to chill, rest, refresh, and all that stuff before we get ready for this thing in 45 minutes. Anything else to say? Jemima, Natasha Endicott from Canada. What up? Do you believe Germany in the house? All right. So do you believe in, one, a 6-year gap age with the man being younger, and two, long distance relationships? Trinidadian Hebrew brother likely asked this question. So with the man being younger, so the woman being 6 years, we don't have any, when you say do you believe in, it sounds like, is that like a philosophy or concept that we promote and they say believe in? We don't have anything specific with either of those things. Okay, she's 6 years older. Again, it depends on you and a man and what you want to do and the age. And I didn't know about geriatric pregnancies and the age they have associated with that till, you get older and notice some things. So depends on what your goals are and stuff like that. So if it's a 6-year age gap, 16 years, whatever, that's up to whatever you, whatever floats your boat on that one. Long distance relationships, I really don't know how they work well, but I do know some that have it working. You know what I'm saying? Again, working well,
Yeah.
that's questionable. But yeah, so that's that.
What is a challenge?
South Carolina, I've killed. Lake, what up to law? Okay, I think that's it for the questions that we have here. Yep, so we're ready to wrap it on up. Pleasure as always. Feel free to share the videos, like the channels, follow us on YouTube. In an hour, again, we're streaming on YouTube. Maybe we'll try to get the other channels and stuff in as well. So here on Facebook, we do have a private Facebook group called Let's Talk Polygyny. So if you want to join that, request, but you must answer all 3 questions. If you don't answer all 3 questions, you're just going to get declined. So that's a waste of time if you don't answer all 3 questions. It's real simple. Are you participating in polygyny? Why you want to join the group? And your email address so we can send you a download. You miss any of them questions? You really didn't want to join the group. So with that being said, appreciate y'all. Remember, the Polygyny Masterclass is coming up on the 19th. Get all this information. Go ahead and register. OutstandingPersonalRelationships.com/TPM. With that, we'll end with GLC.
Yes, make sure you guys are growing. I need some water, guys. Make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Inshallah, we'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Peace.